What up, beautiful believers? Happy Sunday. I hope that you all had a beautiful day. I certainly did. I just thank the Lord for another Sunday, another opportunity to just, live out the plans that He has for me on earth. Sometimes they don't seem like much, but I know there's a reason and a purpose for every day. Today, I did get to spend some time with my grandsons, my family, have dinner, and just with my daughter, and that is always just such a blessing. I drove everywhere I needed to go today so far without any hiccups, and I'm thankful for that. Thankful to just still have my home here. I'm still kind of looking at into all of this devastation after Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton, and I'm just mourning with these people who lost everything. So I'm always have to be grateful that I'm not, in that situation, and always praying for them that the Lord will keep and guide them and cover them in their time of need and just direct them with their next steps. So anyway, I just wanted to say, man, I was just sitting here, laying here actually, and thinking and just talking to God because sometimes this walk as a believer is pretty lonely when the company's gone and the kids are gone back home and things like that, and you're just left with your own thoughts. And another big revelation of mine is just my involvement in the world and my need to just cut that off. So earlier I was just driving and I was thinking and just kind of meditating, and I came to the realization that I have let myself get too involved in a world where it concerns, like, for mainly politics. And I know that is something that is a weakness of mine. Like, when it comes up, like, it's something that a rabbit hole that I definitely will go down. And I just was thinking, like, how it has become, not become, it was divisive. Like I said, in 2028 I realized how divisive it was, and that's why I actually decided to no longer participate. But I was scrolling today, and I was looking at some posts and things like that that people had made. I looked at a couple of, like, YouTube videos or whatnot, and it just, I just felt like unfulfilling, just totally unfulfilling. There's nothing about it for me that is fulfilling. Then as I started to think about it even more, I started to realize, like, if you, like, as I'm driving down the street, of course, all you see is Kamala and Trump signs everywhere. And it's like, I started to realize, like, why I jumped out and the kind of person that it makes me when I'm in the situation, like in the thick of it, which I'm done with as of today. But I just started to think, because I had did a lot of driving today, so I got a lot of time to kind of think. And I was just thinking, and it's so funny. My grandson was in the car, and he makes a lot of noise all the time, and I was even able to think over this over the noise. But yeah, I was just thinking, if you say something to a either support, like either party supporter, you don't get anything. There's nothing bright about it, right? There, like, it's just so crazy how we're going through a whole process as humans, this election, and no one can tell me anything bright, nothing bright about any part of it, right? Um, and that is concerning. That started to concern me, and I'm like, what happens is when I start to look into things and dig into stuff and find out truths and stuff like that, um, it makes me just like the world. It makes me just like the world because when I start to make judgments based on what I'm reading or what I'm hearing, and I know full well not to pay attention to any of this stuff. I know full well not to pay attention to, whatever is being said, because people can say whatever they want. At the end of the day, God is the ultimate judge. Like, God has predestined it. That's what, people don't understand. Like, you don't wake yourself up in the morning. You don't decide that you're going to wake up in the morning. I've always said that. Like, if I were in charge, my mom would still be here, my grandmother, my father, my aunt, like, people would still be here. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have ailments in my body. Like, I'd have a perfect job. If you're in control of anything, uh, I'm sure there are things in your life that would not have gone the way that they actually did. They didn't go as you planned them. But like I said, for me, ultimately, it's like I'm not the person who decides whether I wake up every day. And to not know when it's going to be your last day, just like people be like, oh, it was so, oh, it was so unexpected. They were so young, or this or that and the third, that kind of thing. Like, that should let us know right there that we are in no way in control. That's why you can't ask, like, oh, why would God let this happen? No, because you're not in control. That's why, because we're not in control. So I really had to step back and remind myself that, self, you are getting way too into this, because it's turning you to a person that you don't want to be. And that's what happened in 2028 when you decided that you would remove yourself from this process. And it's even ickier now. It's sadder. It's worse. It's very icky now. Like, now I mean, God started to change my heart. I posted a video the other day. Like, God told me I need to start praying for Kamala. Like, this is the thing. God is starting to show me who needs the prayer. People that I need to be praying for in my prayer time. Not saying that I don't need my own prayer, like I'm perfect or anything like that. But what this has shown me is that people need prayer. The world needs prayer. The leaders need prayer. And the people as a whole need prayer. And it's terrifying to me because I read my Bible. I know the plan. Like, I'm not worried. But I look at all the people around me who they don't read their Bible. They don't know the plan. And they're making this their entire existence. Like, what are you going to do when this is over? What'll be your existence then? Like, when your candidate doesn't win, then what? Like, now is your anger going to go towards they cheated? Or is your anger going to, like, what's going on? Like, what is going on? I really wish people would stop and think, but I know they're not going to, right? But I'll continue to make these videos because this is really my only way to express this to other individuals, and hopefully it reaches at least one person. That's always my goal. It's always to at least reach one. But I really want you to go deep into your thought process and, like, your foundation and your why and your motivation. Like, for me, I'm stepping back out because I realize, like, I take accountability for the way that it causes me to behave and the divisiveness that it puts in my heart. And when I'm reading Revelation and we're talking about the church, I believe, of Ephesus, if I'm not mistaken, and it's talking about how you've lost your love, and he's talking about his love for him, but our love for him should reflect on every other person, and it's not there. Like, I can tell when I get involved with the politics, or there's no one saying anything that looks bright. There's no prediction of a bright side in any of this that I'm watching. Everyone has only negative things to say about the other side. That's it. That is not productive. Like, that's not productive as human beings. That's not productive as politicians. That's not going to be productive as a world. A divided kingdom is going to fall. This is why I know there's nothing you all can do. There's no vote you can make aside from putting your vote in God that is going to change what's going to happen. There's nothing you can do that's going to change what's going to happen. What you need to do, put your trust in the Lord, vote with the Lord, and ask him to change your heart posture. Like, it is so important. He's been telling me this since COVID. Change the heart posture. This is all a line in the sand. It's a line in the sand. And I feel like I posted, I think warning times are up. I think it's pretty clear that people should understand that they are not on the right path at this point. Because if you don't understand what path you're on right now, I don't think that there's any hope. I clearly see how it's not, how God's word is not for everyone, and everyone's not going I clearly see that. And it's terrifying. It's because I feel like I'm starting to see it already. And it's terrifying because, I see so many people that I speak with that I'm like, you're just so off the mark. Like, you're just so off the mark. And if you would just try Jesus, try God, just try the Holy Spirit, let it convict you like it's convicting me, because I can understand, like, because I have gotten involved in this, then your posts become about the negativity. Everything about you becomes negative, and you're just an energy vampire. An energy vampire. And that's why I lay here tonight crying real tears because the walk is so lonely when you know the real truth. The walk is so lonely because I realize people are not going to give it all up. They're not going to give it all up to just follow him, trust him, focus on what's really important, what matters, and people are just not going to do it. And I get sucked in, like I said, I got sucked into the election 2024 rabbit hole, and I'm jumping out because I realize it doesn't make me the kind of person that I want to be. It doesn't make me the type of person that is serving God. It doesn't make me the type of person that wants to meet God. It doesn't reflect him. It doesn't reflect how I want to go be with him forever. It doesn't drive my behavior to reflect that. So I'm just going to pray for all of you all. I hope that God will reveal to you where he wants you to be in this process, what he's trying to show you in this season. And I just want to encourage you not to look around, but to look up. Always don't look around, look up. Cherish what is important. It's so ironic that those people in North Carolina would lose everything right when this is happening. I would hope that it would have made people think, like, and I didn't snap out of it right away. I got into the anger of how they were being treated and things like that. And that's not my goal. That's not my job. Someone said the other day, David and Goliath, when we look at that story, we think that we're supposed to be like David, but they explained that no, David is God and he slayed the demon, he slayed the enemy. And we are the ones who were fortunate enough to stand on the sideline and cheer David on. We are not the ones to make it happen, and that's I got caught up in that with the North Carolina situation. Like, what could I do? What should I be doing? And I forgot that there's a God that is taking care of it already, that has predestined it, who knew it, who is not shocked by it, just like this election. But it's like we all got so muddy because we forgot that he already had a plan. And maybe he was just checking our heart to see what we were going to do, how we were going to behave, and how we were going to represent him through his predestined process. Step out of the mud, y'all. I pray that y'all step out of the mud. I love y'all. This is just my 2 cents, and that's all it is. 2 cents. Peace.